Abby. I guess more people are still.
Should we start? Okay, Roberta.
Ready?
Okay. Ready.
Adonai Le'amo yiten Adonai yevarech et amo. Adonai Le'amo yiten Adonai yevarech et amo. Shalom. Shalom.
Adonai le'amo yitin Adonai yevarech et amo. Adonai le'amo yitin Adonai yevarech et amo. Vashalom. Vashalom. Hello, everyone. Welcome to Temple Sinai. My name is Ellen Finkelstein.
I'm Roberta Falk.
And we're co-leading the service tonight. During the summer months, some Friday night services are led by our rabbis and some by members of our congregation. We'll begin our fall schedule on September 4th. Just a note, because of the nature of Zoom, we ask that you stay muted to avoid background noise. We'll have one person talking or singing at a time, and we are really happy that all of you are with us tonight.
We'll begin by lighting the candles. If any of you would like to light your candles at home at the same time and join us, please do. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kidshanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu lehadlek ner shel Shabbat.
Okay, we turn now to the Lecha Dodi as we welcome Shabbat. Lecha Dodi likrat kala, pnei Shabbat nekabela. Lecha Dodi likrat kala, pnei Shabbat nekabela. Shamor v'zachor b'dibor echad, Tishmianu el hamyuchad, Adonai echad, Ushmo echad, L'shem ol tiferet v'letehila, Lecha Dodi likrat kala, Pnei Shabbat nekabela, Lecha Dodi likrat kala, Pnei Shabbat nekabela, likrat Shabbat lechuvenecha, ki mekor habracha, merosh mekedem nesucha, sof maaseh b'mashavat tekila, lecha dodi likrat kala, pnei Shabbat nekabela, lecha dodi likrat kala, pnei Shabbat nekabela.
Hitoreri, hitoreri, ki ba'orech kumi uri, 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 shir daberi, kevod Adonai alayich nigla, lecha dodi likhat kala, pnei Shabbat nekabela, lecha dodi likhat kala, pnei Shabbat nekabela. Boi v'shalom ateret bala, gam besimcha uv'tzehala, toch emunei am segula, boi chala, lecha dodi likhat kala, pnei Shabbat nekabela, lecha dodi likhat kala, pnei Shabbat nekabela.
We invite you now to close your eyes, take a deep breath, and take a moment to breathe in the peace that you may feel. Okay, Shabbat Shalom. We invite you now to wish everyone a Shabbat Shalom in the chat if you wish.
It's going to let you in soon.
Oh, we can chat?
Yep, but you're not in yet.
All right.
Okay, let's turn to the Baruch. As we call each other to prayer.
Oh, and Andy says, hi, Abby.
Okay, who's not muted? Because we need to, thank you. Okay, I'm sorry. We turn our attention to the Baruch Hu as we call each other to prayer and as we come together as a community. La 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 la. La 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 la. Baruch Hu et Adonai Hamivorach. Baruch Adonai Hamivorach Le'olam va'ed. Le'olam va'ed. La 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 la. La 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 la.
An interpretation of Ahavat Le'olam, God's Adonai's everlasting love for his people. As you taught Torah to those whose names I bear, teach me Torah too. Its mystery beckons, yet I struggle with its truth. You meant Torah for me. Don't let me struggle alone. Help me to understand, to be wise, to listen, to know. Lead me into the mystery. Baruch atah Adonai Ohev Amo Israel.
We concentrate now on the Shema, the central teaching of Judaism, where all life is one and connected. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Baruch Shem Kivod Malchuto Leolam Va'ed. Okay, as we go to the V'ahavta, we please join Amos now as he chants the words of the prayer.
Actually, we're going to recite the words of the V'ahavta. V'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha b'chol levavcha b'chol nafshecha ובכל מאודיך. והיו הדברים האלה אשר אנוכי מצווך היום על לבביך. ושיננתם לפניך ודיברת בם, בשבתך בביתך ובלבתך בדרך, ובשבתך ובקומך. קשרתם לאות על ידיך והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך, וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובשעריך. למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצוותיי והייתם קדושים לאלוהיכם. אני אדוני אלוהיכם אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים להיות לכם לאלוהים. אני אדוני אלוהיכם. Thou shalt love Adonai your God with all your heart and with all your soul and with all your might. These words which I command you on this day shall be upon your heart. Teach them diligently to your children. Speak of them when you're sitting in your house, when you're on the road, when you're lying down, and when you're rising up. You shall bind them for a sign upon your hand, and they shall be a symbol between your eyes. Write them on the doorposts of your house and upon your gates, that you may remember and do all of my commandments and be holy unto your God. I am Adonai your God, who brought you out of the land of Egypt to be your God. I am Adonai, your God.
Thank you, Amos. We turn now to the Hashkivenu, the prayer for peace through the night. Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu l'shalom, l'shalom. V'hamidenu malkeinu l'chaim. Ufros aleinu sukat shlomecha, ufros aleinu sukat shlomecha. Amen. Baruch atah Adonai, haborei sukat shalom. Shalom aleinu v'yakol amo Yisrael. Ve'al Yerushalayim ve'akol amo. Ve'al Yerushalayim shalom. Ve'al Yerushalayim ve'akol amo. Ve'al Yerushalayim shalom. Baruch atah Adonai, haborei sukat shalom. Shalom aleinu v'yakol amo Yisrael. Baruch atah Adonai, haborei sukat shalom. Shalom aleinu v'yakol amo Yisrael. Okay, now we turn to the Hashkivenu in English.
Grant, O God, that we lie down in peace and raise up our guardian to life renewed. Spread over us the shelter of your peace. Guide us with your good counsel. For your name's sake, be our help. Shield and shelter us beneath the shadow of your wings. Defend us against enemies, illness, war, famine, and sorrow. Distance us from wrongdoing. For you, God, watch over us and deliver us. For you are gracious and merciful. Guard our coming and going to life and to peace evermore.
Okay, we're going to sing the Vishamru.
The people of Israel have a covenant to keep the Sabbath, as God created the universe in 6 days, and then on the seventh day he rested. Veshamru bnei Israel et ha-Shabbat, lasot et ha-Shabbat ledorotam berit olam. Jeremy, any chance to get this song on the slide, please? I can go somewhere else again.
Am I supposed to sing now?
No, I'm singing, but I lost the song because the slide isn't up. Can you help us, Jeremy, to go back to Vishamru?
There we go.
Thank you. B'nai u'bein b'nai Israel, oti le'olam b'shamru b'nai Israel et ha-Shabbat, lasot et ha-Shabbat ledorotam berit olam. Ki sheshet yamim asa Adonai et ha-shamayim ve'et ha'aretz v'shamru b'nei Israel et ha-Shabbat, lasot et ha-Shabbat ledorotam berit olam. Ki sheshet yamim, no. Uvayom hashvi'i shavat vayinafash, shavat vayinafash, shavat vayinafash, v'shamru b'nei Israel et ha-Shabbat, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית העולם.
Okay, we turn now to the Amidah. Sorry, we're having some technical difficulties. This prayer reminds us of our ancestors and of their tradition of loving kindness, chesed, as we ask for strength to endure and to help us bring goodness into the world. After the prayers, we'll have some moments, a few moments for silent prayer so that you may think about your own personal prayer or meditation. Adonai sifatai tiftach ufi yagid tehilatecha. Adonai, open up my lips that my mouth may declare your praise. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu ve'Elohei avotinu v'imotenu, Elohei Avraham, Elohei Yitzchak, ve'Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, ve'Elohei Leah, Ha'el Hagadol, Hagibor v'Hanura, Elyon, Gomel Kasadim Tovim, V'konei hakol, v'zocher hashtei avot v'imahot, u'mevi gula livnei b'neihem leman shemo b'ahava. Melech ozer u'moshia u'magin, Baruch atah Adonai, Magin Avraham, ve'ezrat Sarah.
Thank you for sharing your silent prayer. Now we've asked Susan Dubin to sing the song of peace, Shalom Rav.
So everybody, do you see the synagogue in the background? That's what I was trying to do.
We can see her. We can see the synagogue and we can see you.
Okay, very good.
Which is even better.
All right, Shabbat Shalom, everyone. Shalom, Shalom Rav, Yisraelam, Tasim Leolam. Shalom Rav, Yisraelam, Tasim Leolam. Ki hatahu melech hadon, Lechol hashalom, Ki hatahu melech hadon, Lechol hashalom. Shalom Rav, HaYisraelam HaTasim Leolam. Shalom Rav, HaYisraelam HaTasim Leolam. V'tov einecha levarech et amcha Yisrael bechol eit ubechol shahar bishlomecha. Shalom Rav, HaYisraelam HaTasim Leolam. Shalom Rav, HaYisraelam Tasim leholam. Tasim leholam. Tasim leholam.
Thank you for that lovely singing, Susan. We now will think about people who we know in our lives or the congregation who are facing illness, and we are wishing them healing. Within our congregation and from our temple, we are thinking about people that we will mention, and also please put in the chat the names of other people that for whom you are wishing rapid healing. We think about Robin Barinholtz, Doris Barinholtz, Amy Perlman, Abby Haupt, June Zeiner, Jim Zeiner, Ronnie Meckler, Allison Santucci, Meredith Fine, Deborah Kaplan, Nicole Morris, Selma Grubert, Luann Luce, Ben Slevitt, Alan Brackup, Tyrone Cushing, Evelyn Opat, Cantor Sue Knight Deutsch, Michael Ben Bluma Vishmoel, Don David Ben Aizer Vehaya, Velvel Ben Baruch Urochel, Shoshana Bat Moshe Ubella, Ephraim Ben Malka Rachel. Thank you for sharing those who you're wishing healing to, and we sing Misha Berach in the Debbie Friedman version. Misha Berach Avotenu Mekor HaBracha Limotenu. May the source of strength, who blessed the ones before us, help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say, Amen. Mishe berach imotenu, mekor habracha lavotenu. Bless those in need of healing with refuah shlema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say, Amen. We now have another song to uplift us. Betty Canick will sing This Little Light of Mine.
This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. Let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. Everywhere I go, I'm gonna let it shine. Everywhere I go, I'm gonna let it shine. Everywhere I go, I'm gonna let it shine. Let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. Sing with me. I'm gonna take it round the world, and I'm gonna let it shine. I'm gonna take it round the world, and I'm gonna let it shine. I'm gonna take it round the world, and I'm gonna let it shine. Let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. All through the darkest night, I'm gonna let it shine. All through the darkest night, I'm gonna let it shine. All through the darkest night, I'm gonna let it shine. Let it shine, let it shine, it shine.
Thank you, Betty. Thank you so much.
Okay, we turn now to the Devar Torah. Our Torah portion is called Re'eh. First, I'm going to talk a little bit, and then Roberta will after that. Our Torah portion is called Re'eh from the book of Deuteronomy, and it means see, behold, look. Re'eh is in a farewell speech that Moses delivers to the Israelites. They are on the verge of entering the promised land. A powerful theme in Parsha Re'eh is to care for those in need, especially the orphan, the widow, and the stranger. In other words, open your heart, treat others with loving kindness or chesed. Earlier in the Torah, chesed is articulated clearly. We are created in the image of God. We shall love God with all of our heart, and we shall love our neighbor and the stranger as ourselves. As I move along on my journey, I search for a gentle voice in the stories of the Midrash and modern commentary. So I looked and looked and looked, and then I read about Aaron, the prophet, the older brother of Moses, the younger brother of Miriam. For him, everyone was equal in his eyes and in his love. Moses says to the Israelites in Deuteronomy, follow God's commandments, do what is right, and by so doing, you will lift up Aaron. Before now, I did not know the exact meaning of chesed, and I knew very little about Aaron. What I discovered is that he represents a model for loving peace and kindness. He was a mediator, a marriage counselor, and he saved many marriages. As such, he was responsible for the existence of many babies who lovingly bear his name. Aaron and Moses each wished the very best for the Israelites. Their leadership styles, though, were vastly different. When Moses came across someone not observant of God's laws, he rebuked them in words. Aaron came across the same person and he gave them a hug. So I discovered an article by Levi Abtson in which he composed a letter to Aaron. So I decided to write a letter too. August 14th, 2020. Dear Aaron, I wish you could be here in our world now. Millions of couples can use your help. We need you. You are the role model for non-sibling rivalry. You speak to the rich, poor, the woman, man, child, and creature without prejudice or distinction. Because of your loving kindness and leadership with the Israelites, God created the clouds of glory in your honor, in your merit. One modern writer, Eli Block, says, because of you, these clouds of glory followed the Israelites for 40 years as they wandered in the wilderness and protected each and every person equally from attack and danger. They accompanied the Jewish people because of you. Evidently, Aaron, you saw the trace of the divine in every creature. As the Midrash says, your love was like the cloud that blanketed the nation. No individual was left outside, and under this shield, no one was marginalized. Boy, do I wish you could be here now and could bring the clouds of glory too, to help us create a better society. I've heard it said, back. That's okay.
That's just, that's.
I've heard it said that if we keep your values in mind, you may be on your way toward a loving, we may be on our way toward a loving and just world. Not saying that you were perfect. You were, after all, a human being. And there was that incident with the golden calf. But you were an amazing person and prophet. The Midrash tells us that when you looked at a person, you saw each individual as equally precious. Our modern sages see you as a great teacher, and they encourage us to be students of Aaron. Before I close, I'd like to tell you, Aaron, about something that happened a long time ago in my life. When someone asks me how long I've been a teacher, it's fun to see their reaction when I say, oh, I've been a teacher since I was 10. One day, when I was a child in elementary school, the principal came into our class and asked to see me. I was alarmed. We walked out into the hall and she said, would you come and teach our first grade class? Because their teacher had to leave and we were waiting for a substitute. When I realized I wasn't in trouble, the excitement kicked in. I loved babysitting and teaching. I went to the first graders, read them a story, and then the substitute teacher came, and they thanked me for helping out. A few days later, our principal came once again to my class. This time she handed me a manila envelope. Inside were 20 cards with hearts and children's drawings saying thank you for teaching us and wishing me a happy Valentine's Day. It's fun to say that I started teaching when I was 10. I phrase it that way because I'm never sure if I want to tell someone exactly how many years that's been. Then they would know my age. I wouldn't have a second thought about telling you, though, Aaron, about how old I am because you live to be 123 years old. And so I probably seem pretty young to you. Back to Chesed. I treasure the kindness of that educator and those young children from many years ago. I will never forget them. So thank you, Aaron, for hearing my story and for your profound example of loving kindness, of Chesed. I wish I'd heard about you sooner. Take care. Love, Ellen. Shabbat Shalom.
In this parsha, God's instructions relayed by Moses and end with commandments to observe 3 festivals, now celebrated as Passover, Shavuot, and Sukkot. The festivals highlight our relationship with God, but also with each other in the community. There are 3 parts to honoring the festivals: remembrance, making the required sacrifices, or now prayers or good deeds, and worshiping as a community. For Passover, a solemn gathering is ordered. For the harvest holiday of Sukkot, joyous celebration. The pandemic we are confronting seriously challenges our ability to follow these commandments. This is a time of fear, loss, separation, and isolation. For memory, the threat posed by the virus certainly reminds us of the many existential threats the Jewish people have overcome. And we eat unleavened bread and think of the Exodus is a fundamental part of the Passover celebration. As for gratitude, it is certainly being tested, but we continue to say and sing words and songs of praise to Adonai. As for worshiping as a community, some have chosen to pray together in houses of worship at great risk to themselves and their loved ones. Here at Temple Sinai, we have not taken this path, for which I personally am quite grateful, as our rabbis, staff, and many in the congregation have created many and varied online and now outdoors activities, such as this service. But the need to celebrate as a community is very deep. I am awed by everything people have done to continue community celebrations. Passover this year was marked by the pain of separation, but how much joy was shared as we prayed, drank, and sang with loved ones from all over the world, like the people in this picture. The distribution of Passover plates by CJP was a wonderful thing, and even more so that members of our congregation drove around delivering them. There have been weddings in hospitals or backyards, B'nai Mitzvah live streamed or completely online. Some teachers drive by their students' homes so they can see them, and caravans of cars visit sick children. Increasingly, we are finding one another outdoors while observing the distancing and the masks that we hope will keep us all healthy. People will continue to use their creativity and love to worship together safely, and we will prevail. Shabbat Shalom.
Okay, we turn now to the closing prayers. Aleinu reminds us that we need to be God's partners in repairing the world. Aleinu l'shabeach ladon hakol, latet gedula leotzer breshit, shelo asanu k'goyei haratzot, ve'lo samanu k'mishpachot hamadah, shelo sam chelchenu kahem, ve'gor aleinu k'kol hamunam, ve'naknu korim, u'mishtakavim, u'modim, Lifnei Melech Malchei Hamlachim HaKadosh Baruch Hu. V'nemar v'haya Adonai L'melech al kol haaretz Bayom hahu Yehi Adonai echad U'shemo U'shemo echad. Okay, now we turn to the Mourner's Kaddish. We are remembering these individuals whose yurtzites are observed this week in the calendar. Agnes Battaglia, Beulah Blau, Leo Klein, Claire Gilbert, Emily Shana Gottlieb, Nancy Lagowitz, Bernard Matvis, Sally Susskind Mizal, Florence Moskowitz, Bernard Neumer, Tara Reedley, Shirley Rubin, and Louis A. Zonderman. And for the period of Shlosim, in the last 30 days, we remember Heidi Lewitt, mother of Mike Lewitt, and we offer our condolences to Mike and his family. Please name others for whom you are saying Kaddish tonight. If you'd like, you can put their names in the chat. You can speak their names out loud, whatever you wish. Yitgadal v'yikadash shemei rabbah, be'alma divrach yiruteh v'yamlik malchuteh, b'chayachon uv'yokon, uv'kaye dekol be'yit Yisrael, bagala v'izmam keriv, v'imru, amen. Yehei shemei rabbah mivarach le'olam olmei olmaya, yitbarak v'yishtabak v'yitpa'ar, v'yitromam v'yitnaseh, v'yithadar v'yithalev v'yithalal, shemei dekudesha birchu, Leila min kol birchata v'shirata, tushbichata v'nechamata, damiran bilma v'imru amen. Yehei shlama rabba min shemaya, v'chaim aleinu v'yakol Yisrael, v'imru amen. Oseh shalom biromav, u'ya'aseh shalom, aleinu v'yakol Yisrael, yoshvei tevel, v'imru amen. May the source of peace send peace to all who mourn and comfort all among us who are bereaved, and let us say amen.
Well, there's a lot going on in our community, in our synagogue this week. Supporting mindful practice will continue tomorrow, Saturday. Alex Bornsweil facilitates this group in supporting each other, developing mindfulness practice, and discussing how these practices help us live our Jewish lives and develop as human beings. Temple Sinai's Racial Justice Book Group continues. It will start up again on Monday, the 17th. We are reading Dog Whistle Politics by Ian Haney Lopez, And anybody who's not in the group and would like to be, just let Tzedek know, and we'd love to have you. Elul Outdoor Shofar Blast Gathering. There will be many activities for the month of Elul as we prepare for the High Holy Days. And the first Shofar Blast Gathering, led by the Rabbi Vogel, is this Thursday on August 20th at 7 o'clock in the lawn of the United Parish Church around the corner from the temple. I had the impression that this event may be full, so you'll have to check the update and the office before you go, but there will apparently be many others, which I think is what our president just wrote in the chat. Racial Justice Learn-In, a day of learning on racial justice as a Jewish community, Yom Iyun, is Sunday, August 23rd. Assistant Rabbi Talia Stein will be teaching at noon. And we ask you to help us in doing phone banks to encourage people to complete the census so that resources are allocated to the communities that may need them the most and not always answer the census. And there is some reviewing voting by mail as well. If you would like to do that, just get in touch with me or Abby Cox anytime. Thank you. Ellen?
Okay, so subscribe to Temple Sinai's new podcast. It is called Prepare Your Soul for the Jewish High Holidays, a series of short episodes newly created by our congregation and clergy. Also, a reminder to take part in the Temple Sinai Community Art Project. Group leader Basha Goldstein-Weiss will compile all of our creations into a zine or magazine. Please register for Religious School and Sinai U. Remember to register your K-12 child through Shul Cloud. Religious School will begin on Sunday, September 13th. And finally, next Friday's service will be led by Rabbi Vogel. So we want to take
one more announcement, Ellen, please.
Sure.
For those of you who were unable to hear the J Street conversation last night with Peter Beinart, I have copies of that, of the recording of that session. If for some reason you weren't able to tune in last night, if you email me, I'll be glad to forward you the recording. The only request is that once you hear it, you delete it. And you can understand why that is when you listen to it.
It was very interesting. Thank you, Amos.
Okay, we want to say some thank yous for everyone who participated in the service. Amos Lassen, Susan Dubin, Betty Kanek, and a special thanks to Jeremy Wolf for his tech support and moral support. To Roberta, it's been a pleasure to co-lead with you. And to all of our members of our congregation, guests, and everyone coming tonight, thank you very much for coming.
Definitely a pleasure, Ellen. Thank you. And a shout out to Andy Levy for his patience and support.
Okay, we turn now to Jeremy Wolf for the Kiddush and Motzi.
And a shout out to Roberta and to Ellen for leading us so beautifully this evening. So grab your bottle of wine. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam borei peri hagafen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav v'ratzavanu b'shabbat kodsho b'ahava u'b'ratzon hinchilanu zikaron l'maaseh v'reishit. Ki hu yom techila lemikrae kodesh, zeher litziyat mitzrayim. Ki vanu v'harta, v'yotanu kidashta, mikol amim, v'shabbat kodshecha, v'ahava u'vratzon, inchaltanu. Baruch atah Adonai Mikadesh HaShabbat. And I would invite everybody to come to the Oneg. The link for that was in your email, but is also posted in the chat. So we'll say Motzi now, Ellen, and then people can bring their snacks to the Oneg.
Right. We're gonna close with a quick song, and then
Was Jeremy going
oh, I'm sorry,
to say
Jeremy.
the Motzi?
You want to do Motzi first?
Yes, please.
Eloheinu melech haolam, hamotzi lechem min haaretz. Come to the Oneg.
Thank you, Jeremy. Adonai le'amu yitin, Adonai yivarech et amu. Adonai le'amu yitin, Adonai yivarech et amu. Vashalom. Vashalom.
Adonai le'amu yiten, Adonai yevarech et amu. Adonai yevarech et amu. Vashalom. Vashalom. May Adonai bless us with strength. May God bless us all with shalom, peace, and wholeness. Shabbat shalom. And thank you for joining us.
Bye.